by the end of that appointment, you were a different guy. You're like laughing and joking with us.
Check it out. I got that picture of you like holding your, holding the lapel of that jacket.
But just
a minute.
My name is Glen Gilbert, host of the Glen Gilbert Connection, where we discuss relationship wisdom for today's man. From the Michael Bruce Styling is the Director of Operations and Stylist, Pamela Forgrieve.
Hello.
Hello. And founder of Michael Bruce Styling, Bruce Pflaumer.
Yo,
welcome.
What's up?
What's up, bro?
What's up, bro?
Pamela is a certified image consultant, certified wardrobe and bridal stylist, producer of the Wisdom from the Wardrobe podcast. You have multiple years of experience and style savviness, provide a unique ability to help clients find their authentic personal style for the long term. And this creates a sense of confidence and empowerment.
I like to think so.
Yeah, absolutely. And from what I understand, you are known for wearing the most fabulous shoes.
Yes.
Well, and she has the big responsibility for keeping me in track. That's huge.
Huge,
yeah.
Right?
Yeah. But yeah, you're correct on the shoes. I have a rather large shoe collection. But,
nice.
you know.
Do you want to say how many?
No.
No.
Okay,
that would be incriminating.
Oh, that's okay.
When you said what's off limits, probably the shoes.
Cool.
That's fine.
That's okay. All right, we'll pass.
It's good.
And Bruce has over 25 years of experience in the apparel industry.
That makes me sound really old, bro.
You are.
Experience. Yeah. It's okay, man. It's experience, not age.
That's right. I like that.
Right. 25 years of experience in the apparel industry. This includes buying, selling, styling, merchandising, design, development, and brand building.
Absolutely.
Sweet. You're recognized as an expert in image and interior style.
Yep. There you go.
You have a diverse and dynamic group of clients who sought you out to find or refine their style.
Sure. That's what they do.
Absolutely. And you enjoy educating and empowering clients in the art of expressing self through style.
Absolutely. I mean, we don't have people coming to us screaming, help, help, help. I mean, we sometimes we do. Like,
I was going to say, I think.
Help. Yeah, I think you did. Help. I need help.
Hello.
You're like,
I'm going to need some help here, buddy. I need some help. They can find you at michaelbrucestyling.com.
That's right. It's hard because that's our new company name, but
And what was the name again? Michael Bruce
Image Consulting.
It used to be Michael Bruce Image Consulting.
And now it's
Michael Bruce Styling.
Perfecto.
Yeah.
Nice.
Keeping it short and sweet.
Keeping it short and sweet.
Beautiful.
The other one was kind of a mouthful, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone ever said it the right way. And I'm like, this is too long.
Like, we got to do some changes.
We got to do some change. I think people can remember 3 names, but it was it was a lot.
Yeah. I think it's great.
Yeah.
You must be pretty good with it too, huh?
It's me.
It's you, man. It's you, man. So we'll just kind of jump right into it. Okay.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So I guess, well, first of all, how did both of you get into doing this? I'm just really super curious.
You mean together or just in
Separately.
general?
How did you,
Separately.
What was your interest and why did you both get into style?
Well, you're the boss. You can start.
No, you. Ladies first. Chivalry
Okay, ladies
is not
first.
dead.
I think it's something that was a long time coming for me. I think even in my early 20s, it was there, but I didn't really realize that it was something I wanted to do. This ability to help other people feel fantastic just by getting ready for the day. I've always had a love of fashion and clothing and style, and I think it stemmed from my mother. And I think as I got older, I kind of more aware of what other people were doing with respect to style. And I became a parent and noticed that I had kind of lost a little bit of my self-style, and if I was feeling this way, maybe other people were too. So I kind of dug into it a little bit, and I was given an opportunity to train as an image consultant. So that's in a nutshell, that's kind of it. But I think it's something that was always there. I just didn't realize it until I was a little bit older, and I had an opportunity to say, you know what, I'm going to step back from that kind of corporate world and decide what it is that I really, really want to do. And as I love, clothing and style and texture and fabrics, it just made sense. So, and once I kind of dug into it a little bit, I was like, yeah, this is me. This is really what I want to do. It's a passion. And it just brings me real joy when I see the way clothing can impact somebody.
Mm-hmm. So is it something you just like, I can get paid for this? You get paid for it? Because it sounded like you were in corporate America or corporate.
Yeah. I mean, before I kind of took a break to raise my kids. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's where the operations and logistics comes into it, right? Mm-hmm. But it was something that I was always always into. I just didn't really realize that it could be a job. But it's more than a job, right? So yeah, I was given an opportunity. I'm like, I'm going to take it with both hands, and I haven't regretted it a day yet.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
So,
Even working with me sometimes.
Yeah, there are days when I do regret that.
Oh my goodness. Oh, wow.
She's actually said that.
But it's out of love.
We have a great team
We
at
do.
Michael Bruce Styling. So yeah, it's all said in jest, but
It
I absolutely love it. The joy that I get from seeing other people, I think just makes everything worthwhile. But yeah, that's how I kind of got into it in a kind of roundabout way. Yeah.
I love it.
Bro, I've been styling since I was like a baby. You know what I'm saying? So if I was looking for it, I don't have it on my phone. I thought I had it, but there's a picture of me when I was in third grade, wearing my brand new glasses, and a corduroy sport coat, a shirt, and an ascot.
He has, because we've used this in style seminars.
Yeah, I didn't see that on their website.
No,
He won't put it on the website.
I will
Why?
not put that. No,
That is fabulous. I think it's fantastic.
We'll use it kind of our
We use
before
it.
and afters,
We
like
do.
our journey from
Our journey.
like when you're a kid, where your style comes from. But that's a whole nother conversation.
Right. We have one from. I had my whole team come up when we did a presentation for a big company, corporation. We had everyone had to come up with a picture from when they were younger, and it's about your style journey. It's like we want clients to kind of sometimes go back to when they were the most comfortable in their style before the clutter of don't wear that. You shouldn't wear this color, or, girls that wear lipstick, or, this thing, or don't, it's like all that started cluttering. It's like, what was that true, authentic style? And it's interesting, if you look at the pictures of my team and you look at them now, their style really has it. I mean, it's evolved if you look, because they've gotten older, but the sense of who they are is right there. But you have to sometimes go way back,
right,
before people started cluttering your mind with a bunch of
So you were
stuff.
in third grade then?
I was in third grade.
Wow, that's amazing. I think in the third grade I had a blue T-shirt, powder blue T-shirt with
Bro,
like a baseball T-shirt.
brown
And like I wore it every day.
It was like a brown corduroy sport coat. It
yeah,
was fresh.
that's the difference right there. Powder blue T-shirt.
But to answer Glenn's question, when did you you worked in the industry of buying clothes and designing clothes and development, but
so when I went to, I was not very good at school, and I went to a vocational school. My parents were like, "You got to come up with something. So you got to figure it out. I'm like, you're not going to college. You got to figure something out." So I went to a vocational school, and the first thing and then the first year when you're a freshman, you do all these different vocations basically for a whole year to try out. And then when you're a sophomore, you actually pick one. And I wanted the home economics. And it was sewing, it was fashion, it was gardening, it was all of these things. And because of my peers, I got so much crap.
Of course. Sure.
I'm like, oh, okay, maybe I'll do something else. And so I became an electrician.
I bet you were the best dressed electrician there was.
Probably.
I was.
Walking.
I was.
Do you have a picture when you
corduroy jacket?
Right. That's what I was going to say. Yeah. Do you have pictures when you were an electrician walking like, It's like you're in the wrong industry.
I do not. But yeah, I mean, I'd whirl in with my, Sassoon, sweatshirt and, my pleated
No boiler
pants.
suit for you?
No boiler suit for me. So, they were like, you can't wear those with boots. And I'm like, I can wear these pants with boots.
Yeah.
So I did have to, when I was a sophomore, I did have to change. Yes, I did have a boiler suit because you had to have a uniform. So I had a boiler suit. I had that whole look when I was an electrician. But, I still kept it fresh.
Of course you did.
How did you jump from that to stylist?
When I moved to Seattle, actually before I moved to Seattle, I was still doing my electrical thing. And one day I was like, I used to go to the store because I was making good money at a young age.
Sure.
And I'd still go on the weekends and nights and go to clubs and, be doing my thing and rocking my gear. And one day I was at the store that I bought all my clothes from. And I got there, and my buddy Calvin, that was the manager of the store, it was crazy busy in there. And I'm like, I just popped in, man, just get a pocket square for my suit. He was like, man, can you help out? He goes, that dude right there needs a little help. He goes, and you like looking fresh. And I'm like, okay. So I helped this guy, just randomly helped this guy, and sold him 6 suits, 14 shirts, 10 ties, socks, pocket squares, the whole thing.
Wow.
Calvin looks at me and he's like, yo, man, you got to work for me. I'm like, bro, you cannot pay me enough to work for you. I said, I make really good money. That's why I can shop in your store.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, but like maybe like nights or like if you had like a weekend or something. And I'm like, I don't want to do anything like that. And then my company put us on 4 10s.
Mm.
So then I had 4 days on and 4 days off.
Right.
And so I was like, maybe I could do it a couple days, you
Sure.
know? And so I just kind of started doing it part-time, loved it.
Mm-hmm.
Loved it. I was like, okay, this is kind of my passion.
Mm-hmm.
It took me like probably a day and a half to scrape all the oil and stuff and grease from my fingers because of where I was working, so I could show up kind of fresh.
Of course.
And I did that part-time, but then when I moved to Seattle, I was looking for that same kind of work and I couldn't find it.
Mm.
And I walked into a Nordstrom store and said, hey, is there any jobs open?
Mm-hmm.
And at the time you could walk into the HR department, personnel,
Mm-hmm.
you know, now you can't. It's like, you know, get behind the curtain, you know? So,
Right.
and then a couple days later, because I filled an application, I was like, oh yeah, fill out an application. So a couple days later, I walked back in and I was like, hey, no one's called me. And I'm like, I need a job. And she was like, well, and I looked at her desk. Her name was Rhonda. And I looked at her desk and there was a big stack. It was during before Christmas. There was a big stack of resumes.
Mm-hmm.
When you used to have to fill them out. Paper. Mine was on the very top of the big stack. And then there was a small stack of resumes. And so I looked at her and I said, hey, I got a question for you. I said, that's mine right on top of there. So either you just put that there or you haven't looked at it to put it on the small stack. And she was like, huh? And I'm like, that big stack is the no's and that small stack potentially is the yeses. I said, but if you've already looked at mine and put on that big stack, and I'm a no, I think that's going to be a big mistake for you, for your company.
And how old were you?
I was 18 years old, almost just 19.
And you knew what you wanted to do at that time.
I just looked at her and I said, hey, I can sell anything.
Right.
I said, you want to talk about someone that's people? I love people. I said, I have experience in the retail space. I said, I worked in downtown Philadelphia in a very, very busy store.
Mm-hmm.
I said, I know what I'm doing. I said, you know, I think you should hire me. And she looked at me and she was like, I think you just sold me. And literally she said, go downstairs. You can start in men's sportswear. So the men's sportswear manager, tell him who you are and he'll get you scheduled.
Nice.
And I worked there 17 years, almost 17 and a half, but I did everything for them.
Right.
So.
And then you started, and then when did you start your own
Oh my, I didn't start
business?
Michael Bruce Image Consulting. Actually, I started as Michael Bruce. Actually,
We're going way back.
I know this is
Way
another
back.
story that you know.
Another
Do
story.
you want the show to be all about this?
I know, I guess.
no, man, it's a
Yeah, right.
Remember, you said there's 25 plus years, there's a lot of stuff. So it was called Peace Style Consulting first in 2006.
Oh, wow.
But it was too cool for school because it was actually called Style Consulting with a silent P, but because of the internet, it was Peace Style Consulting. But it was
Google
also
it.
when Amazon was selling this product called the Peace Style for women. It was not good.
Oh.
So no one could find my website because they would go to this product
Right.
first. They're
Right.
like, I don't know if that's him.
Right.
So, yeah. And it wasn't until some really nice lady that was doing some research, trying to find stuff. She called me. She was like, hey, I finally found your website. She goes, can I send you what came up first? I'm like, sure. And she was like, I'm like, that's not what I wanted. I'm so sorry. And, you know, it evolved. I changed the name and hired a great team. And we've been rocking and rolling ever since.
Perfect. Beautiful.
And then I hired this lovely lady here.
Well done.
10 years, almost 10 years ago.
He doesn't say that every day. Sometimes
No.
it's like,
Really?
what was I doing?
Well, like when she calls me and I'm like, do I answer the phone? I know it's going to be work for me to do. And she always goes, like, hey, how's it going? I'm like, good. She's like, okay, we have stuff to do. I'm like,
Oh, you keep them on the straight and narrow.
Yeah.
Keep them within the guardrail.
Yeah. Have
like-
we done this? Have we done this? Have we done
she's like, don't
Oh,
make me
wow.
put it on Asana. I was like, okay.
I see why you hired her then.
I did.
Oh,
She's
thank
the,
you.
She's the absolute best.
Perfect. So kind of just jumping into it and just looking at, what might be able to help couples, men, women in particular, and what they might be looking for. Because I'm thinking in particular guys that are in relationships or just getting out of a relationship and they feel there's a sense of loss. There's something to where they might be missing something in a relationship. Maybe they're feeling like I'm not as attractive. Maybe they're noticing that their girlfriend, their wife, their spouse is just showing a lack of attraction towards them. Like they might have a sense of like there's something amiss.
You sound like someone that's kind of gone through something like that.
Yeah, a little bit. I'm speaking from personal experience.
So it's a good place to start.
I'm not laughing at you.
No, I know.
We get clients, and Pamela and I talk about this all the time, at all different levels. At all different levels. And I think the first thing we do, and P will tell you, is we try to build people up. We say we are our clients' biggest fans. We are in their corner because they're coming to a place where if you don't feel great about yourself, and I think it takes a lot of vulnerability for people to come and go, I need help with something that maybe not be in their wheelhouse, and they're open and they're honest and they're vulnerable, is we cherish that space, and we honor it.
I think, maybe what you're asking, Glenn, is like, how do people recognize that that's maybe something that they need to think about? Is that kind of where you want to go with this?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah? Okay.
They may be feeling like there's something is not right, or they're just kind of coasting along, and maybe either the husband or the wife or one of the spouses is recognizing that they are not as attracted. So
let's hit on that first, right? Because I think that was one of the things that we talked about prior to this, kind of some of the questions that people are asking themselves, okay? And I think you always have to engage in this space in a really sensitive way, right? So if you are that person that's not feeling quite so attracted to the person that you're in a relationship with, how do you broach that, right? Because you should never go up to someone and just say, you know what? I don't like the way, let's just be forthright, I don't like the way you're dressing, it's a turn off for me. That's just not a nice way to do things. But if it's something that you feel strongly about, how can you approach that conversation with them in a way that doesn't make the other person feel terrible, right? And I think that's super important, whether it's this or anything else, right? You want to come from a place of positivity. So how you broach that subject is super important. So your comments need to come from a positive place. So if for example, you feel like, and I'm just kind of making things up as we go along here, right? You feel like they've let themselves go a little bit, or they're not dressing the way that they used to, that you used to like. Maybe instead of saying, oh, I feel like you're looking like this or that, how about phrase it in a way such as, I really like it when you... It makes me feel really great when you, right? So you're putting the emphasis on you as the person that's feeling not so great about the way the other person is, your attraction point to them. And how can you have that conversation? So doing that, like, I like it when, I think opens up from a positive space, because then you can start that conversation. Hey, have you thought about maybe let's go shopping and let's do it as a couples thing, right? And you might not have the skill set to make it effective. That's when somebody like us comes in, but you can't go up to somebody and say, hey, I don't think you dress really well. Let's get you in with a stylist.
Right.
Yeah.
Because it's not their idea, right? So then it just becomes a negative thing. And it's like, oh, well, it makes somebody who might already be feeling not so great about themselves feel really crappy about themselves, right? And we never want to come into a relationship with a client from that angle where, it feels like it's pushed on them.
Right.
It needs to be the client's idea, or at least something they're open to and positive. Otherwise, it's not a great, event for them, if you like. Right? It's done begrudgingly. You don't get the outcomes, and you don't get to feel fantastic afterwards because you feel like you were forced into it.
Right.
So, I think, kind of long way around of that is be careful how you approach it. I mean, you do have to approach it because relationships are all about communication, right? So approach it from a positive angle and see if you can get them on board with that conversation. I mean, they may not be open to it at all, and there's not much we can do if somebody isn't. But if there's a glimmer of, oh, well, maybe she'll or he'll feel better if I do wear something other than my I don't know, Seahawks t-shirt. I don't
Right,
know.
right,
We're just,
right.
Opening up that dialogue and doing it together.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There's just one perspective of it, but
Yes.
that's
Yes.
kind of,
Yeah.
I also think in relationship, in those conversations is finding something, and it happens where someone's like, oh, hey, gosh, I really like that color on you.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It may not be you love the style, but you like that color. Hey, I really like, Pamela said, I really like when you wear that color or
but
something.
it has to be an authentic comment,
It
right?
does.
A compliment. It
Right.
can't be you're just saying it for the, you know what I mean? Because
No.
it's disingenuous, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's the same,
That'll be
you
disingenuous.
see it when you go into shops and people are like, oh, I love that on you. And it sounds false.
Right.
It needs to be from the heart, and you need to mean it. Because I think that's the only way that you can then broach those subjects and then have somebody feel like, oh, okay, maybe there's something in this.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Also, I think it's just one of those things. It can be a very tough conversation, but I think if the person is real and then honest with how they're feeling about something, it's better to say something than not.
Mm-hmm.
And but to do it with gentleness, think about like how would you want to
Right.
hear it from someone yourself.
Right.
Yeah.
I think,
So I
there's
think
some,
that's really important.
showing some feeling behind it.
Yeah,
is definitely.
you can't go in
yeah.
like a bull in a
Right.
china shop,
No, you
especially.
can't.
It's superficial,
Right.
right? And I think years and years ago, it was all, well, it's just the A-listers that do this. And it's just, it's, oh, you're vain. It's more than that, right? Great style actually helps you feel fantastic. So how can you give that gift to somebody else without making them feel bad about the way they currently are?
Sure. Yeah, I can say from personal experience, I've approached it both ways.
Okay.
I've done the whole, to friends. I was like, yeah, I know some stylists. You might want to give them a call. And it was out of just like, hey, it might be helpful. I was just thinking like, you might, and I've benefit. And that's where my mind was set. It's like, oh, you could benefit. And they were like, oh, you say dress. And it was like, no, well, but I don't want to be.
How well did you know these people?
I've known them for years.
Yeah.
And then I've done the second approach where it's, you know what, babe, I when you wear that one red dress, you look fantastic.
Yeah.
You look absolutely beautiful. If you could wear that for us tonight, it would just be amazing.
Yeah.
Like, oh,
It makes people feel great. When you recognize that they look really good in something, it sparks joy.
a place of genuine. You're being very genuine.
Yeah,
A place
exactly.
where you're supporting them. Yeah.
Rather than saying, oh, I hate it when you wear such and such because you look like a slob. Or
Yeah.
that just turns people off straight away. That's and feeling good about yourself when it comes to style. I've seen this with, clients over and over again. When they look good, they feel fantastic. It's like, how can you get somebody else to that space without making them feel awful from the get-go?
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Or saying something like, and what you'll hear is the rebuttal is like, well, but I'm so casual, or I'm this way, or I'm that way. I'm like, I totally get that. Can we just elevate that just a
Smidge.
smidge?
Yeah.
How about just getting a new
It's
pair
not
of
about changing
jeans?
people.
It's not about changing. It's like still staying where they are, but just taking it up just a little bit.
But they have to be open.
They do.
That's the
They
biggest.
do.
Yeah. But
Would
you
you
have
say?
to help them. Yeah. Because,
Yeah.
I mean,
You can't force people.
You can't force it. I mean, we've actually turned clients away before now because they
We
weren't,
have.
not to be mean or because there's anything wrong with them, but when you're not in the right headspace for these conversations, it doesn't work out well. And you never want somebody to feel that they've come away from it with a bad experience,
Right.
or that they didn't get what they needed out of it,
Sure.
or that they were forced into it.
Right.
Yeah.
That's not a good spot to be in for anybody. So, I think any stylist or image consultant worth their salt will look at the overall thing and say, okay, this person's not quite ready yet. And be honest and have that conversation with them. Like, we really want to help you,
Yeah.
but now is not your time. You have a little bit more work to do on yourself.
Right.
Because when you go into this, bear in mind, when you're working with a stylist, it's really kind of personal and it's intimate and it's vulnerable,
Very vulnerable.
right? And you know this.
Incredibly vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I made the mistake going, Bruce, just tell me how it is. And I was like, oh, I'm not prepared for that one. But I
Sometimes he needs to know to dial it down.
out of
Luckily,
all fairness,
you had me too.
yes, out of all fairness, it was I had Pamela, but Bruce also said, "Do you want me to be nice, or do you want me to be honest?"
Right.
Well, I
Kind
think,
of like,
it's
let's just-
direct,
there's-
or
Right, direct,
how do you prefer your
Yes.
information wrapped up? Do you need
Yes.
it in a cookie or do you need it with a sledgehammer?
Yes.
Right, so
Yes. And I was like, and then
You were like, just hit me with it. I'm like, are you sure?
Yeah, and he did. And it was like, okay, no. And I was like, it was actually pretty good.
But you have
afterwards.
to meet people where they're at.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
They have
So
to tell you.
He did say, hit me with the sledgehammer, by the way.
I did.
He said, just give it to me. He goes, don't beat around the bush. Give it to me full bore. I'm like, okay, bro.
Yeah, I did.
Like,
I was like,
maybe half bore.
yeah, it's like, are you sure you want? I'm like, sure. How bad is it going to be? It was honest.
It was honest.
It was honest. That which even hindsight, I really appreciate that.
But you were willing to do the work, bro. And this is a conversation we have with every potential client. So here's the deal. This is hard work with a great result, but it's hard work.
Right.
So are you willing to do, because we're going to work hard. Yeah, we are going to work hard for you. You have to work just as hard.
Yeah, and you also need to figure out who you are, right,
Yeah.
when it comes to your personal style. So I think that's part of the problem. And we've actually seen an increase over the last, 10 years really, but in the number of male clients that we have.
Absolutely.
Right? So when I
It used to
started...
be about 5%.
Yeah, when I started with the company, it was about 5%. We're probably closer to 35%.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we are.
So, people's minds have really shifted on that whole conversation of style. It's not just for the elite. It's not superficial. It really has a positive impact on the way you feel about yourself. For some people, it helps impact in a positive way their mental health and just the overall feeling of self-worth. And people are starting to catch on to that. You know, that there is actually a scientific correlation between how, the way you look and the way you feel, right? So, I mean, I'm going to ask you this question. Have you ever had one of those days where you're wandering around or you're working from home and you're in sweats or you didn't get out of your pajamas? How do you feel? I know how I feel.
What's
Crappy,
the word?
slovenly,
That's
right?
what I was gonna say.
And I think it alters, it does kind of impact the way you work and the way you feel and the way you project.
Sure.
And so people are starting to realize that, there is a correlation with how you feel and how you dress. And some people don't care, and that's okay too. But
so what were some of the things that both of you observed with clients? Like maybe someone's on the fence and like, okay, I want to try this, but, and the person, the guy's just like, I think it's going to help. I don't know if this really is going to be a good thing. And then you see something happen with the first outfit.
well, first, I think most people think that style has to be is uncomfortable.
Right.
I like my stretchy pants, and I like to be comfortable. So do we.
So comfort is my number one thing.
Nobody should feel uncomfortable in their clothes.
Right,
And I think that's a huge stumbling block for people, it doesn't matter whether it's male, female, non-gender specific, it doesn't matter. People want to be comfortable. Stretch material, you can have both. In fact, you should demand both comfort and, that confidence of dressing well. So,
So if someone is like just starting out, what have you seen personally to where it's like, you see the shift. You seem like you're becoming a little...
You can see it on their face.
Yeah, you can see it on their face. And since we start in the closet, so everyone has a closet consultation. We do an in-home closet consultation with everyone. But when we
Glen's
find
smiling.
someone's nuggets, when we find some nuggets and take some pictures, because people don't get pictures taken. We're like, hey, we're going to be taking a lot of pictures here. When we show people how to make small little incremental changes by what we found in their closet and the little tweaks, and then they see the visual, they're like, man, that looks so much better. That was in my closet.
Right.
Yeah. It just needed to be tweaked.
Yeah. And then you say, this is just a tiny taste.
It's just a tiny taste, baby.
Tiny taste
Yeah.
of what we got going on.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just a little taste. And then they get pumped up about the then shopping experience that's coming, because we then go and it's part of our process. We go and we pre-select everything for our clients based on the style plan of their needs, their body type, their lifestyle, and their goals. And then they just show up. And in a sense, they're quote unquote paper dolls. They just try clothes on.
Yeah.
And then we show people how it all works together and how it coordinates and how it connects with who they are.
Right.
I mean, most of our clients don't like to shop, but I would say men are, that's the biggest. They're like,
Right.
I hate shopping.
Right.
You ain't shopping.
No, you're not.
We're styling. It's something different. We'll style you from your closet to show you that you have the tools that you need. You just need to refine them, right? And I think, for some people, that's, again, it's kind of a stumbling block. It's like, well, I spent all this money on clothes. Why do I need to do this? You have the tools. Just let, a stylist help you elevate that and refine it and find out who you really are. Because some of the answers to the questions are already there in your closet.
It's almost like a shift of mindset.
It is.
To where it's like, oh, like you were saying, oh, it's why do I need, oh, it's just okay. And I don't want to, and it's no big deal and blah, blah, blah.
And even people that are ready, they're still having those conversations, whether they're saying it out loud to us. Most of the time they're not, but we can see the cogs turning, right? And that's the conversations that they're having with themselves. What's the point in this? But the second you get into I don't want to say an outfit because that makes it sound like a costume, but you get dressed into an outfit that is inherently your style, right? We're not trying to make you dress like somebody else. It's you just a little bit more elevated.
Sure.
There is this shift, not just in the mindset, but in somebody's demeanor.
Oh, yeah.
And in their posture.
For sure.
Right? So you can see it. It's like this little bit of a swagger comes along, right?
We saw it.
We saw it in Glen. My first ever client was, a great friend of mine. She's an amazing lady, always super happy, super confident. But she asked me to style her as she was going back into the workplace. And so the reason I'm telling this story is just so that people can get an idea of the impact that the right clothing can have. So this is somebody that's super confident, super friendly. We reevaluated her wardrobe. We worked with what she had. We went shopping. We got her, into a fabulous outfit. And this woman just kind of stood there, and all of a sudden, a little bit taller, deeper breath, shoulders back, and just this grin on her face, like, wow. Right. And so I don't think people understand that until it actually happens to them, that there is a direct correlation with, when you look good, it elevates your confidence, it elevates your poise, and really you're kind of feeling like, well, I got it.
That was going to be one of my questions. How does looking good affect your emotional well-being and overall mindset in maintaining healthy relationships? And just
so to answer that question, but I want to go back really quick because what I find it really interesting, and because of what your audience is thinking of men in their 40s and 50s or women, but mainly men, this is more of a men thing, is their wardrobes are a reflection of their relationships. They have this look from this person, girl that they're a woman that they were with, this one from this, and it's literally a clutter. It's a clutter of what people liked, but nothing about what they liked about themselves.
Right.
And so we help men, women, but we help, especially when we think about men, is we declutter that, and we're an outside perspective that's a critical perspective, but a positive perspective on who you are.
Right.
And we help you define who you are.
Yeah.
Whereas no one else has done that, because everyone says want them to be who they want them to be rather than who they are. And that's the difference.
That's what I was just going to say.
Some people, it's like their significant other or spouse will go do the shopping for them, right? And bring home what they think. And so, guys, girls, I mean, if you don't like shopping,
right,
and you're letting somebody else do it, somebody else's influence on you. I mean, you could say that about stylists, but our job is to is to take that apart, not put ourselves into somebody else.
Right.
And so, I mean, I probably asked you this question, Glenn, when we were doing your wardrobe consultation. Anybody listening to this, ask yourself this question, right? Define in one sentence what your current style is, and then give yourself a sentence of where you'd like to see it be, right? So for an example, I can't remember what yours was, but I'm just going to make something up. Somebody at one point will say, well, I just feel like casual Joe, like my sports gear. That's my current style. Well, where would you like to see it go? I'd like to be a little bit more put together, maybe classic with an edge to it, a little bit of funk in there somewhere. The conversation, everybody's conversation is different, right? But when we say do the hard work, ask yourself that question.
Right.
Define your style as it is today. Be honest about it.
Be honest, yeah. It is what it is.
And then if you could do what feels right, if you want to be a bit of a BA, or that's badass, but
I just looked at the person.
Okay. How do you get to that, right?
Yeah.
But you have to ask yourself the question, is that, and it has to be authentic, is that how you feel inside? That's where you'd really like to go. So once you have those two kind of sentences, this is me now, this is where I want to go, at least you have a pathway to get there.
Right.
So let me kind of throw a hypothetical out to you. So I've noticed there's a lot of guys whose allowed their significant other to dress them.
Mm-hmm.
And I've gotten to the point where my current girlfriend was like, "Oh, I bought that." I'm like, "Mm-mm." And I looked at
You're
it.
staying strong.
Yeah, I looked at it as like, this is my identity.
Yeah.
I worked hard with both of you to get this identity by being very vulnerable with myself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And I think there's something to be said to those guys that are like, "Oh, she dresses me and it's fine," but you can tell there's something.
If they don't own it, that's different. They don't own it.
Right.
You have to own it.
Yeah.
If you don't own your style and someone else owns it,
And how does that affect?
it's not authentic.
Right. And how does that affect someone's self-confidence? Like when difference between somebody else.
Well, it's pinned from someone else.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
So
You didn't choose it.
Yeah. You two are coming from a place of, tell me what you want to see yourself as versus, oh, I got dressed by her or him.
Right.
That kind of thing where it's like a control thing where you're not really being truthful to yourself.
Right.
Yeah, and I don't know that it's necessarily a control thing. I think for some people it's it's just easier, right?
Yeah.
I don't like to
Sure,
shop. I don't really know what I want. I hate trying on jeans. I don't want to buy.
Right.
Or I hate shopping. Can you just pick me up something?
Exactly.
Right, yeah.
But the conversation should be, if you're going to allow somebody to do that, be a little bit more direct in what you want, right?
Absolutely.
Like if they've bought you something in the past and it hasn't really been your favorite, just say, you know what, I so appreciate that you did that for me, but can we look for something that is more this or more that? Don't be frightened to say what you want, because this is your identity,
Right.
right? So I think, again, it all comes back to communication, right? So, and I think that's where a lot of people fall down with this. It's okay to have somebody else do some shopping for you if you set the parameters in place first of what you want.
Right.
And if you don't know what you want, ask yourself the questions that I just kind of denoted there. You know, I'm talking myself out of a job here, aren't I?
No, you're not.
No.
And you can't change people.
Right.
You can help people, but you can't change them.
There's got to be a desire there too.
Got to be
There
a
does.
desire.
Yeah.
There's something needs to change. If someone's kind of coasting along, I always say, if you're coasting along through life, you're going downhill.
Well, I would say the number one thing that people put down when they fill out their personal style assessment forms on our website, probably the number one thing when we talk about their style currently, it's actually they check off stuck in a rut.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I would say 90% of the time.
90% of the time stuck in a rut. But it's easy to get stuck in a rut. And even as stylists, we can get stuck in a rut.
Yeah.
How would you curb that? How would you change that mindset from being stuck in a rut?
Well, as stylists, we were always challenging each other and ourselves. I mean, that's part of our job, right? We can't ask our clients to do that if we're not willing to do the work ourselves.
Right.
You know, and when we say get stuck in a rut, it's like, okay, you know, whether that's you wearing the same style of jean over and over again, I'm like, oh, we know, and we get kind of bored.
Right.
So we know what the tells are, right? So we know what the tells are for our clients. It's that kind of deflation, if you like. So when we're starting to feel that as stylists, we're like, okay, I need to amp this up just a little bit. I'm getting a little bit bored. We have conversations.
We do.
You know, between the four of us. And
Do you call each other out?
Yeah,
We do.
absolutely.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
We do.
No, that's the crowd that you have.
Yeah.
And maybe that has something to do with it as well. Is who is your clients? Who are they surrounding themselves with? Are they like, you know, just down dressing and just not having a lot of concern about it? And
We hear this a lot, and I think I don't know if it's a Pacific Northwest thing where people want to blend in the PNW look, like they don't want to stand out. We hear that a lot.
I was going to ask,
Stand
where's
out,
your-
people. Why would you want
Stand
not
out.
want to
We
stand
hear
out?
that a lot.
I was going to ask you both, where's your poofy jackets?
I don't. I have one.
Yeah.
It's not black.
Yeah.
It's burgundy.
I have
You know,
two.
I mean, it's just
Blue and one's blue, one's gray.
there's nothing wrong with having the puffy jacket,
No.
right? You know, we kind of joke about the PNW, but you know, we need some of these things because of the weather that we have,
Yeah.
here, right? Like today, it's a miserable grey day, right? But make it more interesting.
Yeah.
You can have the puffy jacket, but does it always have to be black?
Right.
Could it be a different color? I mean, just these little things are ways of incorporating a little bit more style and a little bit more pizzazz without feeling like you're standing all the way out. If you want to stand out, we say go for it. And we encourage it. There are some benefits to standing out, right? And I know you kind of alluded to this a little bit earlier, but you know, standing out from the crowd, it can get you places, right? So whether that is into a new relationship or into a promotion or into that new job, if you look
Or
like,
better service at the coffee place.
Okay, I hadn't thought about that one, but okay.
But it does happen. Yeah.
I'm telling you, I was at a coffee place the other day, and it wasn't a Starbucks, and the gal said, "Oh my God, I love how you're dressed." I'm like, "Oh, thank you very much."
Yeah.
And she did a little special swirly on my coffee, and I
Nice.
said, "Oh, that
That
was
make your
nice."
day?
She's like, "Just for you."
That
I was
make your day.
That made my day. I'm like, looked at
But
people. I'm like, "You
it's
didn't
the
get
little
that."
things. So, you know, Glenn, I mean, people come to us for lots of different reasons, and they're usually in a transition period, right? So whether it is you're stuck in a rut, whether it's with your clothing, your relationship, you've come out of a relationship, you don't know where to turn, or you're looking for that next step in your job. I mean, all of this applies to every aspect of your life, right? And so, you know, people come to us, like I said, because they're in transition period. But when you make that decision to do something about it, it has an impact across the board,
It does.
right? So whereas you might be coming to us because it's a relationship thing, it may well impact your job.
Yeah.
It may impact your, you know, making more friends. There's all these things where, you know, just having a little bit more, and pride's not even the right thing, but just having a little bit more confidence in yourself and the way you dress, and just
Of course.
taking a moment to kind of elevate, right? Other people see it.
Right.
And so that positive reinforcement that you get from other people just feeds into that confidence and that poise.
And it makes you want to continue with your new style.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
never know what opportunities are going to open up for you when you are feeling your best self.
Right.
So, you know, we do style seminars for companies and all sorts of different things. But one of the things we talk about is executive presence when we do this, right? And so, you know, before everybody groans when I say the word executive presence, it's not about, you know, being in the boardroom necessarily. Executive presence is just this innate way of handling yourself, the way you communicate both verbally and non-verbally, and your clothing and the way you dress has a big impact on that.
Right.
The way you're describing that, it sounds like when the person walks into the room, everyone kind of settles down and like, oh, they're here.
It commands a kind of, okay,
It does.
we're ready to go.
Yeah. We had a
Right.
client that we styled a number of years ago, and I love the story because he was just and I'm not going to use not a nerdy guy, but just a tech guy, but he was an engineer, but he worked for a company where he was basically the liaison between the designers designing the software and the engineers executing it. So he was right in between because he had the skill set of both. And he said, I need to be able to walk into these rooms with these cool designers and then go and talk to the nerdy engineers, but I need both of them to kind of realize, because of my level, that I can do that. So I need to have credibility to look good, but also kind of be myself, so I can go and not scare those guys. And we styled him up, new glasses, gear, nothing elaborate at all. I mean, at all. But he walked into the board in his meeting. But he always has his weekly meeting, and his boss walked up to him afterward and was like, "You showed up today, and everyone listened to everything you had to say." And he was like, "Thanks." He actually called me like that afternoon. He was like, "Oh my gosh, I just had like this amazing conversation with my boss. He said I showed up, and it was all good." The guy actually runs one of their corporate offices in Japan. Now doing that same thing.
See, that's awesome. That's
Right.
incredible.
And he said that would never have happened if he hadn't been signed, because he was the kind of quote unquote nerdy guy, just like was in the corner trying to communicate. He's like, no one's listening to me. And he needed to show up. But his presence, his style presence made his executive presence show up more. And that it just took him to stratospheric levels.
Yeah, so he was so frustrated because no one was paying attention to him, but he felt like this doing a style change would have helped
So
level up.
Why would you not want to stand out? Right? Going back to that point you made earlier about, you know, people just want to blend in. You know, Bruce said people want to just blend in. Why would you? Because, you know, it can have an impact on every aspect of your life. So, you know, Bruce is saying, you know, show up, not just in your job, but in your home life and in your personality. You know, just show up. You know, just have a little bit more faith in yourself, and just like, okay, I'm worth the time, the energy, and the effort.
And we have countless stories of clients that we had. This one lady that came to us, and she was actually getting some self-help at some retreat in Arizona because of some things that were going in her life. And the lady that was up on stage said, "Here's the homework. First thing you do when you get back home is find an image consultant to help you with your image style. So the first thing she did was contacted us. And her goal, her number one goal was, she's like, I'm 55. She had a very successful company. She's like, I'm going to get back into the dating world after, a very traumatic experience. She goes, and I said, well, are you known? She goes, yeah, I'm on all the sites. And I said, well, what do you get? She's like, no one's ever swiped. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. That just made me so sad. And so her goal was, she just wanted to get a swipe. She just wanted someone to swipe right.
That's really unusual, especially for a woman. Generally, women will get a lot more attention because there's a lot more men on those sites.
But how confident did that person look in the photos that were there, right? And so again, that comes down to like how you're presenting yourself is how you feel inside, right? So if you feel inside, you're probably dressing a little bit that way. So how can we, again, like every client that we work with, they just stand a little bit taller. And that smile and just a little bit and there's nothing wrong with a bit of swag. We
did the whole thing for her, and she got 15 swipes the first day. She's actually married now.
Outstanding. That's awesome.
She found her guy.
Did you go to the wedding?
No. It was actually in Europe. I'm like, they love me, but they love us, but they're not sending us to Europe.
You want to go to Europe?
Okay. So I was very happy. We were very happy.
Yeah. Very happy. Impact emotionally, and just it's not just clothes that create an emotional impact, because you get the feedback from other people just from walking around. I keep going back to those guys that are like, well, that sounds great. The whole point of like, well, you're kind of leveling up. You're showing that, I'm creating an impact on myself, and I'm going to just kind of exude that through the world.
And we do everything. We do hair for women. We do makeup for guys. We do eyewear for people. We do full image consulting. Skincare, the whole thing.
Yeah. It's not just clothes.
It's not just clothes.
Yeah. I mean, I see where you're going with this. You really want to kind of push that point onto guys that are sitting there on the fence, like, or are behind the fence and they're not even climbed on the fence yet, of like this idea that they maybe need to think about their personal style a little bit more seriously.
100%.
And are they going to really see me? I think that's what a lot of people say, is like, are you guys going to see me, or don't make me something that I'm not? Well, we don't make people anything that they're not.
Right.
Our clients, we do not let them purchase clothes that they're not comfortable with. Now, do we push them
outside of their
comfort zone?
Well,
absolutely.
I mean, it's your show, Glenn. Let's talk to you about it. I mean, you've said you've been through the experience. How did you find it? I mean, the proof is in kind of the personal journey, right? So tell your listeners.
Should I be serious or should I joke?
Do what you want. It's your show, right?
Here we go. Let me straighten up a little bit.
Let me fix your pocket square.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you. This is what they do. Like get me looking good. There you go. Yeah, thank you so much. See, this is wonderful. This is fantastic. This is why I need to hang out with you.
It was driving me crazy. It was falling down.
I knew it was.
You should have said something earlier.
I was always fidgeting with pocket squares. Anyway,
carry on. No, fantastic. It's night and day. It's literally night and day, and it's changed my whole world. I mean, but I think the biggest thing was like I wanted the change. I was open to the change, and that alone took a little while to figure out. I was in a really bad place.
It's a big deal. I mean, even making that phone call or sending in the personal style assessment, right? But I mean, not to hijack your show, but you've gone from the guy that we met and now you have your own podcast. Do you think you'd be doing that if you hadn't kind of took those steps?
No, absolutely not.
So you are a different, more confident. In fact, what I've noticed the most is
you smile so
much more. You did not smile.
No,
I was in a bad place.
So the thing is, I'm going to be really honest, Glenn. You don't know this, right? But when we first started working with you, I take it really personally when I'm working with our clients. I am so invested in them, and Bruce will attest to this. So we were working in your closet and stuff, and I'm like, I think it's going okay, but he's not saying very much. And is it because I'm a woman helping him? And and even when we got to the shop, I'm saying to Bruce, Is this going okay? Because I'm not by the end of that appointment,
Yeah.
you were a different guy. You were like laughing and
You're
joking
like, hey,
with us.
check it out. I got that picture of you like holding your,
Yeah.
you're like
Oh
holding
my
the
gosh.
lapel of that jacket.
But
I'm like, he's
just,
the man.
like I was really worried that maybe it wasn't going well, but it just took you a little bit longer to kind of open up and like really embrace it, I think. But the person you were that first time I met you, when I asked you that question, like describe your style now and where you want it to go, you were a little monosyllabic and you were just, there was no eye contact between you and I, right? If I'm being perfectly honest, you did not look at me properly. And I was just like, oh, okay. But now we're sitting across here with the microphones and you look at me in the eye, you're smiling, your confidence. And I think I'm not, saying that's all us, but I think that taking responsibility for your personal style, that helped you immensely. You did that, right? We didn't do that. You did it, but you took the steps.
It did help when you opened up the dress room and I had a cool outfit on and Pamela was like, I'm like, come on. I mean, she's beautiful and she's giving you props. So
Well, you should tell everybody what you do when somebody comes out looking good. I mean, not just like, okay, that's pretty good, because both of you are like, we don't do average. We don't do pretty good.
No.
We do. We want you to.
We do amazing.
We
We
want
want
you to get stellar.
wow.
You get clapped.
We want wow.
I'm jumping.
You're jumping.
I'm hopping. You give me fist bumps, baby. It's
Physically jumping up and down.
I'm just going to say that was Bruce, not me.
Yeah,
Right.
that's
I was wearing
Sorry.
4-inch heels, so
Yeah.
there's no way I'm
Yeah,
jumping
she's
about.
always
like-
like, she's like, you need to calm down because you're way too loud. I'm like, dude, that looks awesome.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm
so
like
that
pumped
there,
up.
that is what you got, right?
That-
Just
that-
a couple of decibels higher than that.
Yeah,
But-
that's how you know you hit a home run,
Yeah.
is when Bruce starts jumping up and down, everybody. But it's also, the journey was pretty intense. And so it's like,
You were nervous.
oh, absolutely. I'm like, I'm letting who into my closet?
I know. See, that is the biggest hurdle for most people.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm going to let them in my home, in my closet, in my personal space.
Yeah.
How vulnerable is that, right?
That's a huge trust
Yes.
issue that I already had. I can admit I had some issues with trust. Absolutely. And being like, okay, I'm going to open up my world.
Yeah.
This is a big risk.
You show up for the hair appointment. You're like, what? I'm like, yeah, he's already got it covered. This is what you're doing. And she was like, okay.
Yeah. I'm like, I'm just
But that
Put my-
feeling
put
that
my
you
trust-
had,
Yeah.
in your hands.
I would, nearly everybody has the same feeling. Like
Everybody.
you have to get yourself over that line and say, okay, it's going to be okay, right? You have to trust your stylist, right? So you have to build a rapport with them before you even let anybody in your personal space.
Absolutely.
And I think, we did that. We do that with all of our clients, but that's why we meet ahead of time, right?
Right.
You build this trust.
Right.
It's got to be a great experience for you. And obviously we've got to feel confident that we can get you where you need to go. It's a two-way thing, but the priority is making sure that you're comfortable.
Right.
And you'll admit it, right? It was a little uncomfortable to start with, having us come in and like, you feel like we're going to rip things apart. And, Bruce can be a little brutal sometimes, but, you have
But
me to
I
soften
took
the
the
edges.
responsibility.
Right.
I took on that
But
responsibility. Just
it
go for
is.
it.
I mean, every time I mention about the closet, you can see the color drains from people's faces, but it's super important, right? Because we get to know who you are before we start.
Right.
But where I'm going with that is just from A to Z, where we are right now. Like the journey, it's hard,
Stratospheric, bro.
Yeah.
but is it worth it?
Right. And that's
I'm asking you, is it worth it?
It's incredibly hard, and it's definitely worth it. And I think the biggest thing for me was the trust, and just being able to build that trust, being open, being like, can I trust? I don't know who, they're going in. But yeah, I've got so much. It's something to where it's like, I am taking a huge chance here. But I searched on the internet. I'm like, I need the best stylist in Seattle. You guys popped up. I got you in there. I'm like, it felt so uncomfortable because it's like, I've never done this before. But then afterwards, you come out and you're like, it was not just okay. It was life altering. Is how I like to put it. It's just life changing because
I love it.
Things. The whole world changes, and it's just like this is something else to where it just elevates the guy. I hear a lot of guys talking about, you got to do something to level up. You got to do something to level up. And I can attest that this is definitely one way to level up.
I think it's interesting when you hear guys say you got to do something to level up. They think that they have to do it all. And that's a little bit different when our clients come, especially men, is they think they've been trying to do it.
But on their own.
It's
on
okay
their
to
own.
ask for help.
It's okay to ask for help, guys.
It's like asking for directions. It's not a
Yeah,
no-no.
It's not a no-no.
Right.
Yeah.
That's the thing. I think a lot of guys, it's a really good point. A lot of guys are so into their head and just like, oh, I'm just, I've been, there was something happened, mistrust, and I just don't feel comfortable. I can't, who can I,
but if guys are thinking that way, just know that women also think that way. You know, like the amount of conversations I've had with female clients where they say, I should know how to do this. Who says you should know how to do it?
Right. Who says you should know how to do it? We hear that all the time. Like, this is dumb. I should know how to do this. I can't dress myself.
But did you train for this? Do you understand the cut of clothing? Do you understand proportion? Do you... No, most people don't. I mean, some people have an innate skill for it, you know, but for the most part, you can tell when something maybe looks okay on you or doesn't, but you don't know why.
Do you think, and the reason why I kind of focus on guys is because they tend to isolate themselves and don't have very much of a social circle versus women who usually have comparatively.
And a guy, and so, I mean, I'm going to ask you two, do you go up to another guy and say, hey, does my butt look big in these jeans?
All the time.
All the time. Absolutely.
No, but you don't go and ask your friends for style advice unless you have a friend that's like super stylish, right? But I'm assuming that's not. Well, yeah, you've got Bruce, right?
Bruce is it,
and me.
But he's my guy friend that I can go to.
Absolutely.
But guys don't really do that, right? You know, I mean, I asked my husband that, and he's like, we don't talk about that stuff, you know. So, but it's okay to find somebody that you can have those conversations with, right? But I get it.
And it's important, I think, to have surrounding yourself with people who are going to support you in this kind of vulnerability.
Yeah.
And that's really what it is. It's like, especially for guys, their social circle is nothing compared to women.
No.
Yeah.
And especially a guy that's been, you know, he could say, I tried everything and I'm out of this relationship and I'm brokenhearted, or just a long-term relationship and she doesn't seem as well attracted to me anymore. What do I need to do? I just don't feel good about myself.
Right.
And I don't trust myself to say anything, though.
Is it okay for... I'm sorry, Bruce, to interrupt. I know you wanted to say something there, but I was just thinking, you know, from a guy's perspective, if you're feeling that way, why aren't you asking the question of the person that you think is no longer attracted to?
We're men. We don't...
Well, I know, but women do it as well. We kind of bottle down our feelings too, but I think, you know, maybe we should all be like being a little bit more forthright and just saying, hey, I'm feeling this. Can you tell me what's going on?
So so you're suggesting guys should be like, I feel like you're not as attracted to me.
You can tell.
Because it's a vulnerability for a guy. He maybe don't want to go there, because if he starts showing vulnerability to his spouse, significant other, and saying, yeah, I just don't think you're attracted.
What would be worse? Knowing the answer to that question or not knowing why things fell apart?
Right.
I should be talking about clothes, not giving relationship help.
But it helps with the process of going, you know, what do I need? Like the guy should be like thinking, like, what do I need to do to level up?
Right.
And if you're like, I'm noticing that she's not attracted to me, but if I ask her, like, oh, I'm going to put myself in the position of vulnerability, will she think less of me? Will she be like, oh...
Do guys really think that?
I think so.
Okay, well, what
you don't want to be vulnerable to your...
Yeah, but I think you got to look in the mirror. We look in the mirror all the time, and I think you look in the mirror and you know when your game is on and when your game is off. And you're fooling yourself if the person that... your significant other, spouse, whatever, doesn't know the same thing. You are fooling yourself.
Right.
So don't be a fool.
That's the message to those guys out there who are just like, oh, I'm coasting. Oh, I shouldn't say anything.
You know you're coasting, bro. Look in the mirror. You know you're coasting.
And I think deep down, guys know if she's losing attraction.
Yeah, they do.
And you don't. You shouldn't let that happen.
And you know, if that question feels scary or vulnerable, phrase it a different way.
Right.
Hey, what could I do, you know, differently to make it, you know, put some pizzazz back in it?
Yeah. Or like, hey, gosh, you had great style, honey. Gosh, do you think I should
hook
this up? What would you do?
What would you like to see me in?
What would you like to see me? Be that
but
vulnerable,
again,
right?
You have to be careful when you ask that question that they don't dress you as somebody that you're not.
Yeah, you,
but at least,
like me.
At least the conversation started, right?
Have your own style. Don't let anybody else do it for you, but make it so you're still attractive. Yeah.
So here's the deal. A number of years ago, I looked at my team and I said, hey, guys, I kind of want to modify my style a little bit. And
you were bored.
I was bored. I was totally bored.
I'm kind of floored at that.
Totally bored with my
I don't think
style.
I've ever seen a picture of you where you're wearing the same outfit twice.
No,
that doesn't.
That's not going to happen.
Doesn't happen.
That's not going to happen.
That's not to say that sometimes you don't feel a little bit like, oh, okay, I just need a little bit. I need to level up just a little bit.
And so Pamela said, "What's your style?" And I said, "Here's my style." She goes,
I asked him the same question that I asked you.
What do you want your style to be? And I said, kind of want it to be updated, traditional with a little bit of an urban edge. She's like, no problem. So I'm like, I'm looking for some new shoes. And she's like, send me the links. So as I went and looking at shoes, I'm sending her links and she's like,
Nope.
Really? Nope. And I'm like, how about this one? She's like, nope. She's like, and then she sent me a text. She goes, you're going in your traditional phase more than where is the urban here? She goes, how about this?
Right.
And so she sent me this one. I was like, whoa.
To be clear, with a client, I'd be much nicer than just a no.
Of course.
Absolutely.
And this is something that's quite common with your clients, right?
Yeah.
They'll hit you up with like, what do you think of this?
They will.
What do you think of this?
Yeah.
Now that you've taken care of them and they're just feeling good, and like, they want to show a little independence. I want to go shopping.
Yep.
But that's why we help educate when we do this, right? So, and you know this, right? It's not all a yes, no. We want people to understand why things work and why things don't work, and what is in the vein of their style, and so that you can help make choices for yourself later on down the line. So
and our communication is, we like this about this. You're on the right. You're on the right page because of this. However, maybe consider this.
Yes.
Great example. Hey, I bought a black blazer for podcasting because I see all hosts wear black. What was the feedback?
It
Try
should
navy.
be navy.
Yes. Love it.
But we didn't just say, oh, don't wear the black blazer.
Yeah.
It was, okay, you look great in the black blazer, and you got the black V-neck t-shirt on, you got a pocket square on, so you finished it, finished off the jacket, you've got your bracelets and stuff on. But, I shouldn't say but, it should be and or however.
Yeah.
Navy is much more approachable. It's softer. It also softens the skin tone. So when you've got your studio lights on and you're wearing all black, you look a little bit
translucent.
Stark. Yes. Whereas the navy
Makeup.
I'm so white, I'm translucent. That's how I like to put it. Yeah.
But the navy would have softened that just a little bit. So, and that's how we deliver information to our clients. We don't do it as a team because we know each other so well, and for us it's just kind of a not a joke, but
although we can tell when a text message comes about something and the person is feeling kind of vulnerable with it. So the message needs to be, you got to read the room.
Of course.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You got to read the room.
Yeah.
And the same goes for, anybody that's listening to your show that's, and, they want to have that conversation with somebody. Read the room.
Read the room.
Read how that person that you want to have that conversation with is feeling about themselves and their style. Because if you go in there ham-fisted with it, you're just going to come against a wall. Right.
It's going to make things worse.
It's
drive it.
And I'm not saying there's nothing, I was thinking about this, there's nothing wrong with in-store retail style, people that call themselves stylists in store. I would tell this, they do not know all of you. They know part of you. As an image consulting company, we know all of you. And we've asked those questions. We're not styling what we see, we're styling what we don't see. We're styling the answers that came when you were true and authentic of who you are.
You guys go deep.
We go deep
with your questions.
We do, bro.
Yeah. And that kind of goes back to that superficial thing when it comes to style. People do think it's superficial. Yeah. And, I've had that conversation with people over and over again. Well, what does it matter? It's just vanity. It's just this. It's more than that. It's clutter, right? So there's reasons why we do things. And most of them stem from our youth. Like Stacey won't mind us saying this, but she didn't wear lipstick Stacey's on our team.
Right.
Stacey did not wear lipstick for a really long time because her brothers made a comment about it.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. Yep. And so
only bad girls wear lipstick that are red.
Red lip, So, people say things and people do things that they mold the way you think about yourself and your style and everything else. So we try and help people break down those barriers and rethink things. So, it's okay to wear lipstick. It's okay to, I dress traditional because that's kind of the industry that I'm in, but really it's not me. So we help people figure out, how to be themselves in a way that, works with all aspects of their lives. And so going in the closet is where we break down the baggage, right? So it's like, okay, you've got that pair of jeans. Why do you still have those? Well, previous girlfriend bought them and, she said they look great. Right. Well, got some bad news for you, know. So we do go deep, right? Because people keep hold of things because they spent money on it or because somebody bought it for them or, you have to break down all of those things to get somewhere.
It's like you want the person to have their own identity.
It's all about their own
You don't
identity.
need anybody else helping them out. And,
No.
and if they don't, we need to develop your own identity.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be like somebody trying to put me in florals and floaty skirts. That would be just wrong on every level, right?
I try all the time. but it doesn't
I
work.
try all the time.
Like, what do you think of this floral? It's just like, put the floral down.
But yeah, I mean,
I like a floral.
it goes deep, right? I mean,
does
and
go
I
deep.
think people think it's just clothing.
Yeah.
It's so much more
It's
than
much
that.
more than that.
It is.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's much more than that. I really like the idea of, you're not, how you differentiate yourself from like the sales representative you see in
And don't get us wrong, some of them have some great skills.
Yeah, they do.
not negating that at skills at
Yeah.
all. It's not putting down it, but anyway, but the personal level you guys bring, it's almost like this is what you want in your inner circle.
Mm-hmm.
This
Yeah.
is what you want people telling you, like, this will help improve you,
Yeah.
rather than somebody might be just looking for a sale.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I think that's
we get
incredibly
nothing from
important.
that
Yeah.
Right.
at all.
Right.
No, it's all about from the second we meet a client that you've come to us for a reason, right? And it's all about making sure that you are the best possible version of yourself, that
Right.
we get you where you need and want to be.
Yeah.
You understand their vulnerability.
Yeah.
And you take that very seriously.
Yeah, I mean it's a difficult space to be in. You know,
Very
we've had clients cry on us, we've had mini meltdowns, and it's a vulnerable space for
Right.
people, and it takes a lot of courage to say I need help.
Yeah.
And we're here to help, right?
Yeah.
We are not, we're, like Bruce said at the beginning, we're everyone's cheerleaders. Like,
Yeah,
we
we are.
want this for you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I've seen you jump up and down.
he does. It's
You-
so
So-
annoying.
I think it's fantastic. I'm
See,
sorry.
it's
I think
fantastic.
it's fantastic.
Yeah, I have to work with him all the time, though.
Even with the glasses, you did that.
I did.
You did.
Right. And those were the ones.
Those-
My
Like
problem is
those-
it gets too loud.
Right. She's
You know,
British. And British
I'm
people are allowed.
British. That sense is, my
Black
sense
people are
of-
allowed. This is what we are.
Yeah, I think it's fabulous. The first time, I can't remember where we were at. Maybe Banana Republic or something.
Mm-hmm.
And I walked out, and I was like, dude, you're gonna hit your head on the ceiling. And like, you're jumping so high. I'm like, what, is this normal? Is this?
I was so pumped, dude,
I
because you
think
look
so.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
that was
obviously-
fantastic. It was
Yeah.
amazing. I'm like, wow, that's the reaction I get? Oh.
It's really funny
This what
because
this
it
means.
became the standard. You're like, you don't like it? I'm like, oh, I like it. You're like, you're
No.
not jumping.
Yeah, but I didn't get it. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way.
There's
I
no
will
way.
never buy anything unless you jump up and down. This was like a fail. I'm changing
It's not
this.
a fail.
Not fair.
Oh.
No, because it fits you really well,
It fits
right?
really
so
well.
it's just, I think guys always think they must have a black suit.
Mm-hmm.
For what?
Yeah.
Ask yourself the question, what
Yeah.
for? But you've learned some skills and your jacket fits you really well. It sits nicely on the shoulder. It sits nicely on the back of the neck. The sleeve length is right. It's not too baggy. It's tapered. So all good brownie points for that.
Nice.
And it has a place. Put a blue shirt underneath it just to add a little bit of, rather than doing the black on black.
Lighter or darker blue shirt?
A little bit lighter. Yeah.
Okay.
But
And
you did great on the jacket.
Oh,
What we're
thank you.
saying is because you're on camera and you've got lights, you need to think about those things.
Right.
So it's even the same. We've kind of gone off on a tangent here, but
this is what you
when
do.
this is what we do.
Yeah, this is fabulous. I think it's fantastic. Yeah.
We had this question a lot during the pandemic when everybody was on Zoom.
wear
Like,
that.
how do I get? Bruce is showing Glenn a royal blue turtleneck sweater that's in his closet that he could have worn under his black blazer to make it oomph just a little bit more. But I think these are things that people don't think about, like when you're on those Zoom calls, right? So you're on camera, you're presenting yourself, and you don't have that physical connection with somebody.
Great hoodie,
right?
bro.
So how do you stand out from everybody else when you're in that screen? Because we're still using Zoom or whatever platform you're using, right? And so these things are important, like the colors that you wear and how you're, okay, we're only seeing you from kind of the chest up, but that chest up face is important, right? So
Right.
yeah, it wasn't a disparage. The jacket looks great. Just you're on
you.
camera. Let's elevate.
See, it wasn't very painful. It's not
See,
that bad.
Because it was done in love.
I give it with a dose of sugar,
That's what I'm talking
right?
about. Yes, and this is all part of the process of being vulnerable. But this is also,
Our
you guys-
job is not to make you
Yeah.
feel bad.
coming from a place of trust now,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and how you guys are like, we want you to level up. We
Yeah.
have your best interests.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing, is that you have my best interests at heart.
Yeah.
And we want to
Yeah.
make sure you walk away, because, they're going to be like, well, where did you get, who taught you how to,
Yeah.
change your, where'd you get this new wardrobe, Glenn?
Right.
And I recommend you guys.
Yeah.
Well, thank you.
And we don't do it for that, but we do it so that you feel fantastic. And,
Well, I show my appreciation, but like you guys are the only people I will ever recommend for style.
Thanks, bro.
well, we appreciate
Course,
that.
Appreciate
But yeah,
that.
it's a fabulous journey, but it was hard at first, but knowing that, to be able to give trust to you guys, I think it's a huge step, especially for guys that have isolated themselves after a tough divorce or they're in a tough relationship. If they're really isolated and they really don't have much of a good, solid group of friends around them.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Going to a stylist going to you guys.
Yeah.
Not just any
I
stylist.
think people forget to spend time on themselves.
Yeah. They
And
do.
I think that's where the problem starts,
right.
right? So you put yourself on a back burner. It doesn't matter, guy, female, whoever. When you start to do that, you lose sight of who you are. And then it becomes hard to kind of pull yourself out of that little hole, if you like.
Yeah, because it becomes a narrative. The narrative is not about positivity and love and all this stuff. Is you're just tough on yourself.
Too tough.
Yeah.
Too tough.
And I know
You
that
were tough on yourself.
You were, yeah.
Right.
And I know this
We had to
conversation.
keep lifting you back up.
Bring it.
Yeah, but
I love
it didn't. Once we gained your trust,
Yeah.
but you were already in the right headspace for it, right? You had already done a lot of that upfront work and knew that you needed to, or wanted to, not needed to. You wanted to do something to kind of make you step outside of your comfort zone, push yourself ahead. You'd already done that work, but I think people don't necessarily give themselves the value of doing the work on themselves
Or permission.
or permission. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's a really good point. It's
there's always something else more important, right?
Yeah, I mean, for those people in general, but just obviously focus on men, to give yourself permission after you've been crushed or something is, I think, for some guys really hard, especially if they don't have a good support system around themselves.
Well, and it's one of those things that you're investing. It's an investment
In yourself.
in yourself.
That's one of the first things I think you.
That's exactly the first thing I said to you.
Yeah.
This is an investment.
Mhm.
It's nice to meet you, Glenn.
Yep.
We talked about, went through some questions from your PSA, how you answered. And I said, hey, bro, I'm just telling you right now, this is an investment.
Yeah.
It's an investment in time. It's an investment in money. It's an investment in your emotion. And all of those things, you need to be willing to do the work.
Yeah, and that's something I decided a few months even before I reached out was something needs to change,
There you go.
and I need to invest in myself.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, it's like you give, and then it's like something.
And hopefully, and I think it's paid off for you.
You tell me.
Yeah, bro.
You look great.
You look
Thank you.
great.
But I mean, it's like
But
anybody.
it's even elevated you in your company, with business, relationships, I mean, before you would see yourself and like, oh, I can't talk to her because of this. And it was like, I'm not going to go to the 4 or 5. I'm just looking at the 10.
There were some crash and burns, but that's all part of the process.
It's all crash and burn.
It's
Absolutely.
It's part of the process of just learning
Yep.
and putting yourself out there and deciding I'm going to do something different with yourself.
I'm saying it's okay,
And
right?
giving
So
yourself permission. Saying
it's
something.
like, this conversation people have, how can you help other people when you don't help yourself?
Right.
Of course.
Right. So you've got to allow yourself the space to grow
Right.
before you can help anybody else
That's
or
my
do anything for anybody
that's
else.
my mantra for caregivers.
Yeah.
It's like how can you help others if you're not helping yourself?
Right.
And that's kind of where it came from. But I think that rings true with everybody at every stage in their life. You need to make sure that you're healthy in your space, whether
In your
it's,
space.
whatever that looks like, because everybody's different,
Yeah.
before you can start moving forward.
Definitely, because you definitely move people out of their comfort zone.
Oh, yeah.
Going into their bedroom and then into their closet is you're being very vulnerable.
Oh, yeah.
By allowing, your client is going to be very vulnerable when they allow you to do that.
Yeah.
And they have to be kind of in a good headspace.
Yeah.
We
allow
respect that
to
space
Yeah.
too.
Because we know
Right.
it's hard. Because
know
we
it's
watch
hard.
the emotions run across people's faces. But in
Like,
the
oh
end,
my God, he's really going in there. I'm
Yep.
like, wait, you need to do what?
yeah.
Oh my gosh.
I need to see what you got.
Yeah. We're
Yeah.
looking for the nuggets and we're putting things together. We're helping people shop their own wardrobes before you do anything else, because there's also some validity in that as well, making people realize that it's not as bad as you think it is, right? There's usually some nuggets in there somewhere that and that is a great affirmation for people. It's
It
like,
is.
okay, it's not all doom and gloom.
Right.
Yeah.
And sometimes it is. No.
Sometimes it really is. And I know you're looking at me on that one. And this is something I really like to say to people. It's like when they ask about, where did you get, your style and all this, I tell them about you guys. And I say, yeah, Bruce walked into my closet, was pulling stuff out, found some nuggets, but that entire wardrobe is gone. That wardrobe before you guys, that wardrobe is history. I say I might have like 10%, 5%, and it's probably t-shirts of what I love.
But what's interesting, you said 10% there. And again, this is something we talk about when we do style seminars and stuff, is most people only wear 10% of what's in their wardrobe.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Because a lot of it is just clutter. It either doesn't fit, it doesn't suit their personality.
Represented relationships in the past.
Yeah. Sure.
So you could have
everything.
like a wardrobe that's got thousands of pieces in it, and you probably only wear 10% of it.
So what would you say to someone who needs to get rid of some pieces? It's okay to get rid of some pieces.
It's okay.
Let it go.
Do not sing. He can't sing for toffee. Honestly.
Can't sing for toffee.
Sorry, that was very British.
That's perfect. Love it. Don't ever
Let
stop
it
being
go.
British. Don't ever
Let it go.
Let them go.
Yeah.
Let
Let them go. Let those pieces go.
that's
We're giving
another
you permission. Just let it go.
Yeah.
That's another being like, should I but it has blah, blah, blah.
No.
So here's a tip
Take a
for
picture
anybody
of it.
that's doing it, right? So look in your closet, and if you haven't worn it in a year, take it out.
Right.
If it's marked, got holes or something in it, take it out.
Yeah.
Then look at what's left and say, okay, what in this closet do I wear on a regular basis that brings me joy? Move that to one side. And then look at what's remaining and say, okay, is there a way that I can incorporate these into my everyday wear that I'm actually going to wear? And if you still can't answer that question, start by, every the tip that somebody gave us that I saw on social media the other day was like turning the hangers around. And if they stay turned around within like a month or two, get rid of them. That's an easy way for people to do it.
Interesting.
Right?
Nice.
But start small. But remember, it's okay. Yes, you may have spent money on something, but if you're not wearing it, you've already wasted the money.
Right.
So give it away. Give it to a charity or something else where somebody who really needs it's going to make use of it.
What would you say to somebody who is like, but this is a part of me. This is a piece of me. I don't want to get rid of that.
But if you're not
blouse or that
wearing
t-shirt
it
or
and it
that.
doesn't look great on you and it doesn't bring you joy, how is it a part of you?
Right. How is it a piece of you? What piece of you is it?
And we get that there are things in people's wardrobes that evoke sentimental value, right? So it might be something, that somebody gave you that's no longer with you, right? If you're not wearing it, what else can you do with it? So an example was, I had a T-shirt. It was one of the last things that my mother bought before she passed away when I was with her. And so I had this T-shirt sitting in my drawer for 15 years. Like, I don't want to get rid of it, but I'm never going to wear it. Right. So we turned it into a pillow.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Right. So find another way to keep it without it being clutter in your wardrobe that's holding you back from something.
That's brilliant.
Just remember, your memories are more important than stuff.
100%.
Right? But that was just happened to be, it was a T-shirt with a Union Jack on it. We made it into a pillow. So, it's great.
It turned out great.
But,
nice.
if it's a scarf in your wardrobe, do something like that. If you're never going to wear it, but you want to hold on to it and it's just stuff, at that point, make it more meaningful.
Right.
But remember, your memories are more important than clothing, right? So
I love it.
yeah, and that goes for anybody. It doesn't matter who you are. Everybody has clutter in their wardrobe and clutter up here in their minds that's holding them back from having great style.
Yeah, and kind of removing that clutter kind of shifts the mindset
It does.
a little bit.
Yeah.
3
Kind of
piles.
you see tweak.
3 piles.
Put 3 piles in your give away, toss, and then the next one is the stuff that you're going to keep.
Yeah.
Right? And then do that on a regular basis. And if it feels too overwhelming, do it in stages.
Right.
But make this an exercise that you do at least once a year.
Right. No, that's brilliant.
Because then you whittle out the stuff that is nonsense. It gives you clear perspective on what's needed and will help you figure out what else do I need. It will actually help you figure out where the gaps are in your wardrobe that then will help you figure out your style path.
Nice.
Right.
Nice. So we've started from people that are struggling, men that might be struggling and alone
Yep.
and really kind of in their heads, concerned, to being okay with opening up a little bit,
Yeah,
starting
absolutely.
to create some trust.
Yeah.
Then be prepared for a closet inspection.
Well, let's not call it an inspection.
Consultation.
However you like to phrase it.
We're going to go with consultation.
Consultation.
Because it's not
Because inspection is judgmental.
right.
Consultation is
Let's talk about
helpful.
it.
We're going to talk about it. Let's
Yeah.
consult.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I like that.
How do we
That's
help?
fantastic.
Because there should be no judgment when it comes to this stuff.
No.
It should all be about potential.
Absolutely.
Right.
Whether it's the significant other trying to have a conversation about that, it's about potential.
It is.
Not about judgment.
Yeah. Here's what I see for you. Like, what do you see for yourself? You got to be able to answer that question.
I love it.
There you go.
And then you go into the wardrobe, and then you go and decide to go shopping. You bring the person with you.
Yeah.
And that's when the kind of like things really start clicking.
Yeah.
The magic happens first. When we start, the answers and the questions are all in the closet. That's boom.
When people start seeing the potential of the clothing they already have, like how the stuff that they already own can actually be worn differently and makes you feel good. That's the little spark.
Yeah.
Right. And then it just builds and it builds and it builds.
That's true. It is fascinating to be like, wait, how did they do that? How did that
But
happen?
I already owned that. And when I wore it, it didn't look that way.
It doesn't look like that when I wear it.
Yeah.
How did he do that? What did he do?
It's a visual
I remember
thing.
when you were standing there and you were like taking pictures of, and I'm like, this doesn't, it's amazing.
But I think that, and this is why you asked us to be on here, is that the impact that has. I think
100%.
people don't really understand it. You need to see it and feel it, or have somebody that's gone through it that can really talk you through it.
Right.
But just know that, let's kind of move away from these stereotypical ideas about what clothing is and what it does for you. It's not just clothes.
Yeah.
Clothes maketh the man.
Right.
Can I use that?
I think somebody already did. I got it from somewhere.
No, that's fantastic. That's fantastic.
But I mean, it's a stupid thing to say, but it can, when I say maketh the man, it helps build you up
Right.
and makes you more confident.
Yeah.
Yeah. It really makes sense on the other side. It's like,
Yeah.
oh yeah, before I'd be like, really?
They're talking rubbish.
Really, Pamela?
Yeah,
Really? But then
yeah.
it's like, hear me out.
Yeah.
But that's why you're doing the show, right? Because you've been through all of these different things, and the proof is in the pudding.
Right.
I think it's if a guy is coasting along and he knows something's wrong, what is one way to level up, if you will? And I would say this is definitely one way to do that.
Yeah.
There's lots of different ways to level up, but this will definitely help you get there.
Don't necessarily have to revamp your entire wardrobe. It can start with little things.
Yeah.
Right? So if you're somebody that always just wears a t-shirt with a I don't know, this free polo t-shirt that you got from somewhere, go out and buy something else that doesn't have somebody's logo on it.
There you go.
It's just...
We could talk about this stuff all day, bro.
Yep.
I know. This is great. This is great. Thank you both so much.
It was our pleasure.
So just real quick, just another plug. You guys want to just tell people where they can find you?
MichaelBruceStyling.com.
Okay.
Yeah,
Or
you can
on
follow us at
Instagram.
Instagram at MichaelBruceIC.
Perfecto.
There you
Awesome. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave us a review. We'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences, so connect with us on social media. Stay tuned for our next episode where we'll discuss more relationship dynamics. Until next time, take care. Thank you. Thank you both so much for coming
All right,
by.
man. Thanks for
so
having
much
us on.
appreciate it.
Thank you.